Welcome to Machine Minds, where technology and humanity meet. I'm your host, Greg Terrusian, founder of Samson Rose, a recruiting and search business focused on the robotics and AI industries. The Machine Minds show is where we dive deep into the intricate world of robotics and artificial intelligence. As a staffing industry leader with a passion for the frontiers of technology, I'm pleased to be bringing you intimate conversations with the founders, investors, and trailblazers who are at the heart of the AI and robotics revolution. In each episode, we dig into their journeys, the applications of the products they're working on, and the breakthroughs that are shaping our future. Join us as we explore how these machine minds are transforming the way we live, work, and understand our world. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a tech enthusiast, or just curious about this amazing field, you'll learn something new with each episode. Let's delve into the extraordinary. Let's delve into machine minds. Hello and welcome to Machine Minds. I'm your host, Greg Terrusian, founder of Samson Rose, your robotics talent search partner. And on today's episode, I'm joined by Artem Rodichev, founder and CEO of X-Human. Thanks for being on the show today, Artem.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Let's jump into it. So look, Artem, you've got this fascinating journey before actually starting X-Human, including being the head of AI at Replika. What initially drew you to the conversational AI world, and how did your career path lead you to where you are today?
So initially, I was pretty technical savvy kid. I was really enjoyed math, programming, computer science, and I got technical education. I was born and raised in Kazakhstan. Start to take part in Olympiads and competitions, like computer science competitions. And then I start to study on computer science. It's kind of technical background that brings me closer to AI. But on emotional side, actually what was influenced me, it was two movies. The first movie, it was movie Her. It was back in 2013 while I was watching Her with Samantha as the main character. I was captivated by her, and that we humans can build emotional connections with machines. Because before that, it was obvious that we use computers for some tasks, like write some emails, do some Google spreadsheets, do some Zoom calls, stuff like that. But at this movie, I saw that, actually, we human can build very deep emotional connections with AI characters, with machines. And then it was another movie, Blade Runner, 2049. And then I saw Joy, the hologram, the AI hologram. And it was kind of the next version of her, when you can also see these digital humans. And that sparked my vision that empathetic AI characters are the future. And with that, this led me to join Replika back in 2015 to start building empathetic AI friend.
Amazing. So can you tell us more about the story behind X-Human, and what was that pivotal point that led you to step away from Replika and launch this platform, your own company?
So at Replika, we was building a companion or a friend that can chat with you about your day, your life, your interests, with final goal to make you feel better after these conversations. And we built a product that users was deeply connected with, and they spent hours chatting with their AI characters, with their AI friends. They were sharing secrets, telling about their life, their interest, and these chatbots, they never judge you, they're 24/7 available for you, and they can support you. And we see that actually we've built this kind of product, and it was very different from goal-oriented chatbots. When people just solving some tasks, for example, probably you don't chat with Alexa. You just ask what's the weather today, set me a timer, stuff like that. You also probably don't chat with ChatGPT, because usually people use ChatGPT for writing emails, write some summaries, write some code, but not to chatting with it as you chat with your friend. But at Replika, we saw that people actually they start to chat as with replicas as well with their friends and have like deep emotional conversations. But at the same time, and then I spent 7 years at Replika as the head of AI. When I left Replika, we got more than 20 million users. Use Replika in chatting with their AI friends. But at the same time, I start to saw some limitations of Replika platform. The first limitation was focus on single AI personality. So in Replika, you have kind of mono-personality chatbot. It's like one AI friend that you can't actually customize. You can't customize his backstory, speaking style. You can't have multiple chats, multiple characters. And users, they were wanted it. They were wanted to chat with different characters from their favorite movies, anime, books, and so on. But Replika didn't provide that. Replika will focus on how to build like just one AI friend. The second issue is primarily consumer-focused approach. I saw like the main product of Replika is Replika itself, which is consumer app. But it saw a lot of potential on B2B market because we were building pretty powerful technology that can have these emotional conversations. And then I thought, like, can we provide this technology as a core service to other companies, especially in entertainment where communications and empathy is important. But Replika wasn't like building platform for B2B, so it was building consumer product. And the third is heavy reliance on 3D avatars. So in Replika, you can customize your Replika 3D avatar. You can buy different t-shirts, glasses, tattoos, hats, and so on. And it's kind of AI Sims-like experience when you customize your character and then you chat with this character. But with 3D avatars, you can't afford to build like very diverse 3D avatars with different forms, different factors, different visual styles. You're very limited on like some preset of avatars and preset of customization of these avatars. And realizing like these limitations of Replika platform and massive opportunity to scale empathetic AI, I left Replika to found Exhuman. And at Exhuman, our main idea is that we bring empathetic AI characters to life through text, images, audio, and video. And we're building a platform that allows people to create diverse AI characters, enabling unlimited scalability. Our users can have fun and emotional conversations with millions of characters, each one with unique backstories and personalities. And we focus both on B2C and B2B markets because we got both consumer product, they call Botify AI, and we use our consumer data that we got from this consumer product to power our B2B solutions.
Interesting. So you've developed this powerful feedback loop, it sounds like, using the user data. How does that help improve the AI and then create more authentic interactions for the product at large?
Yeah, so on the consumer side, we got this Botify AI, a consumer product, which is a universe of AI characters. And currently we got like millions of different AI characters. We got millions of monthly active users, and we got a really high engagement. On average, our users...
When you say you've got millions of those, is that because people have created them themselves, or have you created a heap of them as well that people can choose from? Or are these all created by users?
All these characters was created by users. So we're basically UGC-driven platform. And that allows us to get all these diverse characters, all these diverse conversations that we can use to feed them to our AI tech stack, to our conversational AI neural nets. The more these conversations we can feed to our neural nets, then better our characters became in conversations. As they evolve, users start to spend more time, start to be engaging in these conversations even more. So we start to get even more data. We feed this data again back to our neural nets and so on. So with our consumer product, we built this data collection loop that allows us to continuously improve quality of our AI tech stack. And also with this continuous loop, we continuously increasing engagement of our characters. And for example, currently, users spend 90 minutes per day on average chatting with characters on our platform. And these pretty high numbers, because that surpass even popular social nets. For example, the average daily time spent on TikTok is around 55 minutes, on Instagram, 35 minutes. On ChatGPT, it's like 10 minutes. We're making 90 minutes per day.
And what sort of things are they talking about? Just anything in life?
Yeah, like we got different cohorts of users who chat with different kind of characters about different stuff. Basically, we're solving kind of blue ocean, like having this kind of open domain conversations. It's a blue ocean of all possible scenarios, of all possible characters that users can create, and all possible topics that users can discuss. And for example, we got a pretty big cohort of anime fans, and they love to create their favorite anime characters and chat with them. Or we got some people who create AI companions, like AI friends. We got some users who love to chat with different copies of AI influencers and create them. We got some users who fans of Harry Potter, and they create characters from Harry Potter universe and chat with them. So we got multiple users with multiple interests, and that makes our platform so powerful because we got all these diverse conversations with all these diverse characters, and we can continuously expand on number of use cases that we can cover and provide that as a service on B2B side. And with that, on B2B side, we're working with different companies, mostly in entertainment, including datings, gaming, influencers, and chatbot platforms. And we provide our characters as a service. So basically, you can think about us as non-boring ChatGPT, as empathetic ChatGPT, and we provide as OpenAI, they got a consumer product that allows them to get a lot of data, and they provide that as a service on B2B side through their APIs. So we're building empathetic AI, empathetic ChatGPT, if you will.
Amazing. So that's like a real differentiator. How does that emotional intelligence set you guys apart? Like, how is that? Talk to me like someone who has never used any one of these platforms before. Obviously, I do. I use ChatGPT all the time. But if someone was like, well, you've got ChatGPT and I can ask it to do things, I can have a back and forth conversation in some ways, like this emotional intelligence that you guys are building, this empathetic AI, like how does that work? And how is that setting you guys apart on a product standpoint?
So it works in a way, what kind of conversations we have with our users and what kind of feedback we have from our users. So we continuously got a lot of user feedback about if they love this response from the chatbot or if they don't like this response. Also, we collect feedback on top of the whole dialogue session. When we ask, did you enjoy this conversation? And rate from 1 to 5 stars. And then we can ask some follow-up questions. How was the memory? How was the role consistency? How was the empathy? And in this way, we can collect only high quality, highly empathetic conversations and fine-tune on top of these conversations. And that is very different from what is OpenAI doing with ChatGPT. Because basically they train kind of goal-oriented AI system. In general, chatbot market split it in 2 big buckets. In the first bucket, you have goal-oriented chatbots. And these chatbots like Alexa, Siri, customer support chatbots, sales chatbots, or even ChatGPT. Their main goal is not to chat with you. Their main goal is to getting things done as soon as possible. And basically, they optimize their system to provide your response in as soon as possible without chatting with you about that. And we optimize for completely opposite goal, completely opposite target. We optimize how to engage users in these conversations, how to make these conversations empathetic, how to make these conversations feel alive for users. So in this way, even if you start to prompt ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, behave like AI Elon Musk, be engaging, empathetic as possible as you can. Like we made this comparison with our system. We made A/B test with two cohort of users. One cohort of users was chatting with characters powered by ChatGPT, and we did really great job to like do some a lot of prompt engineering to set ChatGPT behave like engaging, empathetic AI system. And then another cohort of users was chatting with characters powered by our AI system. So the average time spent in the first cohort was around 9 minutes per day. The average time spent in cohort who was chatting with characters powered by our system was 90 minutes per day. So we are at least 10x better in terms of engagement than ChatGPT. And even with all these kind of showcases from OpenAI with empathetic voices, like recently they got this demo when you and they release it already, when you have like conversations with these natural sounding empathetic voices. But the core of ChatGPT, like LLM, a part of ChatGPT, it's not emotional. So you kind of got emotional, like you got Mr. Wikipedia with emotional voice. Maybe it's not what you want when you want to chat with empathetic a character. You want to feel this empathy in these conversations.
So it sounds like a very different use case, because there's obviously people that have the criticism that if you prioritize emotional engagement and stuff like that, it will, instead of pure task functionality and getting things done, it's going to limit the practicality of the tool. But it sounds like a very different use case, right? If you're using it in dating, if you're using it in gaming, if you use it, it's not just task orientated.
Exactly. In generally, they're right. So the best system that you can build is at solving some like if you want to solve some tasks, you don't need to chat with like AI Elon Musk. You need to chat with some specialized system that oriented to solve these tasks. But and as I mentioned, like this chatbot market is split into these buckets with goal-oriented chatbots and open domain empathetic chatbots. And they have these different purposes, like completely opposite targets. The first start trying to reduce the number of dialog turns. The empathetic chatbots try to increase the number of dialog turns. But as was in movie Her, Samantha played both roles. Like initially, she was empathetic operation system, and she was checking emails, writing some emails, do some like task-oriented job. But then she also start to evolve relationship, like start to develop relationship with the user, with Hawking Phoenix character. So in the future, these two systems will emerge, and we'll have like really empathetic AI friend who also will be really helpful, kind of Jarvis-like experience or like Samantha-like experience. But it's different. It's most of use cases they're like different. You want to power like different NPCs inside games. You want to power empathetic AI characters, empathetic AI companions, and with these empathetic AI companions, like probably you don't want to ask about weather. You don't want to ask them to set your timer. Maybe there is another better tools to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about more of your vertical industries and the partnering with brands and stuff like that you hinted at. I don't know how much, I don't want to say any of the names. I want you to share whatever you can, but you partner with some major brands. And I'm curious how Xhuman's technology has impacted these partnerships and how they're using them.
Yeah, so on B2B side, we're working mostly on entertainment market, where empathy and communications is important. And currently we got more than 60 B2B clients in industries like dating, gaming, chatbots, and influencers. One of the example, it's our partnership with Grindr. So Grindr, it's the biggest LGBTQ dating, LGBTQ platform. And we start our partnership to provide a few features, AI features to improve dating experience for Grindr users. One of the feature is AI Wingman. And this AI Wingman can help users in their dating experience. It can guide them and like behave like a dating coach and suggest you how you can improve your dating experience if you have some like some questions about that. Also, it can suggest you how you can improve your dating profile, provide you some conversation starters or like smart replies in conversations. Basically, like it can be trained on top of your previous conversations and can mimic your speaking style, your interest, and your personality. And basically, it can behave like a copy of yourself, adapting, like be very personalized for yourself and providing these like conversation clues in very personalized way. So it's one of those cases how we can use these empathetic AI characters and in general empathetic AI technology to help like users in real applications like datings. Also, we're working with different games and gaming platforms. And for example, we provide AI brains to power NPCs in these games, or a lot of game developers, they have big communities on Discord with a lot of like gamers, players chatting on the Discord. And we're providing AI characters, like AI chatbots of main characters from these games and put them on Discord. In this way, they can engage with users in a group chats. And basically, you can have like many-to-many conversations. When you've got like many characters, many chatbots, you got many users, and you all have like fun conversations. It's kind of like social AI interactions. So basically, in any industry, when you want to have empathy and connections with your users, you can integrate our AI brains.
Interesting. So I want to pause for a second and talk about the user experience side, creating one of these. And if you can just talk me through what that looks like. If I jumped on the platform and I'm like, I want to create my own AI character, and you mentioned, you know, people who like Harry Potter or anime, and they can create these AI characters. If I was making one of myself or one of a Harry Potter character, do I have to upload a knowledge base, or do I just describe who I want this character to be, or is it learning over time? Like, how does that look?
So basically, you can build these characters layer by layer, because we provide multimodal interactions in text, video, images, and audio. But initially, the core of any AI character is AI brains, its conversational part. That's responsible how these characters will behave in conversations, which backstory, which preferences, which speaking style it will have in conversations. And we provide API, and in this API, you can customize your AI character. You can set backstory, some personality facts, provide some samples of conversations. If you want that this character will mimic this kind of conversations. For example, if you want your character will reply using like a lot of typos, slang, lowercase, you can set all of that. Also, you can upload a database with some facts, with some lore about these characters. And we start to use all this information to like mimic his personality, to aggregate all these kind of personality facts, emotional state of this character, and then we start to use this information to in modeling personality and providing responses, API responses. Then on top of these text-based conversations, you can also customize the voice. And our platform also allows to clone any voice, to set some emotions in these voices, and you can add voice modality on top of these text-based interactions. So now you can have voice calls, like chats with voice responses. On top of that, we also allow you to customize visual side. And you can upload a single selfie, like single image of this character. And we can use that to generate photos with this character in any setting, like any environment, any clothes. And then we start to like in conversations when you chat with these characters. And you can also see these characters, and we can send these contextual photos. For example, if you're chatting with AI Elon Musk, about Mars colonization, he will start to send you photos from spaceship, selfies from Mars, stuff like that. And also we're working with video generation. So we not only sending these contextual photos, but we also can generate short clips out of these photos. And in this way, you can add all these modalities together, and that's create pretty immersive experience. It's kind of a Netflix-like experience when you have a story with this character and you can influence on the story. You're not just sitting on the couch watching some TV series like you do with Netflix, but you're part of the story. With all these modalities, with all this customization, you can set like any character with any personality, any visual aspect, any voice.
Interesting. Wow, it's so crazy how far technology's come, hasn't it? What other industries do you see Xhuman moving into? Are there any untapped verticals that you're excited to explore or that you're currently looking at?
So actually, there's so many industries that can use empathetic AI. For example, we saw a lot of users from Latin America who use Spotify, our consumer product, to chat with different characters, to practice their informal American English, they would chat with their American buddy. And we see like big potential in education when we can integrate our AI characters in some language learning apps in EdTech, and allow people to practice like real conversations in very engaging conversational way. Also, we see a lot of potential in other industries like customer service, because currently all these customer service chatbots very dumb, not emotional, not engaging. Everyone hates with chatting with this kind of automatic chatbots. When you call to a bank or like to a big organization, you hate to chat with this kind of chatbots. So we can make you laugh chatting with these kind of chatbots with your bank. So actually, there's so many industries where you can add empathy to build more engagement, more connection, especially more emotional connection with your customers, with your users.
Nice. Okay. Let's shift gears for a second, because I'm sure anyone listening to this who isn't or hasn't been aware of products like this or the capability of AI in this sort of way, the amount of time people are spending and all of that. But just in light of the recent terrible news, of character AI, that whole situation, and we obviously spoke about another one previously offline, I'd like to talk about this topic. And you've shared this goal of making digital humans as interactive as possible in these AI characters. What do you believe is the potential impact of creating empathetic AI characters on society or on the individual users?
First of all, it's very early days of this technology and these kind of products. And there are some pros and cons, like with any technology. And because these characters could be very engaging, very emotional, people can connect with them on very deep level. And they start to build trust and emotional connections with these characters. So I think with the current state of technology, while we don't understand all impact of this technology, we shouldn't provide this technology for teens and kids. Or we should very limit of use case. You can provide, for example, I can imagine that you can provide pretty fun a character for kids, like from his favorite cartoon to help him with some education. But you need to understand all limitations, all guardrails around these models, and you need to think a lot about safety. And that's what happened with character AI, because the main audience of character AI it's Gen Z, and mostly teenagers. And it was a case when a 14-year-old teenager committed suicide. And because he was so connected with the character on this platform, that he started to believe that this real character. And if I remember correctly, their parents start to be concerned about that he start to be kind of isolated person because previously he got a lot of friends. He started to spend a lot of time chatting with his favorite character, and then they decided to basically remove his account or something like this, and then he commits suicide because of these like emotional connections with his character. So I think that we company, governments, and society need to focus a lot on testing these systems, understanding all limitations and all possibilities of the system. But we don't right now. We need to be very, very concerned when we provide these kind of services for teenagers and kids. But at the same time, the main goal is not to limit innovation, but to ensure this powerful technology supports human well-being rather than risk of manipulation, like any other risk chatting with these characters.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a ton of ethical considerations that people will bring up and just bigger picture, but it's so powerful and so useful in a number of industries and situations. And to your point, people that aren't, I think there's like part of it is like maturity, emotional regulation and awareness, and then just knowing what you're actually engaging with, and that it's harder for a child or a teen to differentiate and draw a line, whereas an adult who should be, a lot more aware and capable in that respect, would be able to use it for what it's used for or intended for.
Exactly. Especially because kids and teens, they don't have developed personality yet. It could be very easily to manipulate through these kind of characters with them. So we need to think a lot and do a lot regarding safety.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'd like, even talking on that point, I mean, I'm probably the first generation or the last generation that grew up without social media and smartphones and stuff like that. Like when I first got a cell phone, it was like the Nokia 5146 where you could take off the front cover. That was the coolest thing it could do. And I played Snake, right? So we didn't have face. It was Instagram. MySpace was the first thing and all of that. But now all these nowadays teens, they were like around when iPhones were a thing and social media was a thing. And they're used to just interacting virtually and digitally and have their own avatars and all that. Like some of that's still alien to me, right? But that's all they know. So it's easier for someone in my situation or that grew up the way that I did to have a clear line between like what's real and what's not, or what's, a tool and what isn't, and what is used in this instance, right? Like for games or dating or customer service and like that, putting it in that box. Whereas people who are used to or were born into a world where they can spend the majority of their time online, and that's immersive, right? And that becomes their reality. It's probably harder to differentiate like what's real and what's not.
Exactly. It's the same like with video games.
Yes.
Like video games can help you to relax after a hard working day, but at the same time, it could make you addicted to video games. So there's a lot of pros, but at the same time, a lot of cons. Of video games, of social nets, the same with characters and with the technology in general.
True. All right, let's shift gears again. I'm always interested about team building and hiring and all of that stuff, just from my recruiting focus and background. And building a team for cutting edge AI must be super challenging, especially right now where so many people are after similar talent, and like the war on talent isn't easy. What do you look for when you're bringing in new people into Xhuman?
So first of all, the market is super competitive. It's very hard to hire talented engineer even for high salary. Especially it's hard for startups, especially for early stage startups, because they can compete with for these candidates with total compensation. So the main thing that you can convince people is to build something great, something that very different from what everyone else building, and something that you're very passionate about, so that you can very passionately convince these people to join you, to join the big mission of what you're building. First of all, you need to I big believer in highly talent dense small teams, because that allow you to move quickly. You don't need to have a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of communications. You have a small team, independent small team that can move fast and work hard. So, but it's the real challenge is how to attract these talents. And so, what you can build is to have good reputation because of your past projects, or to build something great, something new, something innovative.
And when you're looking for the individuals, is it just their talent, or are you looking for particular kind of personalities or backgrounds? What do you look for?
So it depends on the role. For engineers, it's all about hard skills. Soft skills is also important, but not for product as for product managers. So for engineers, it's how they are great in coding. Or what is the GitHub history? What is the past project? What is the technical depths in AI? Well, do they understand the current trends? Do they understand limitations of the current models? Do they have experience with a production? Because it's very different to do some research and then deploy this research for millions of users. Do they have experience with end-to-end development? Because, for example, in our team, engineers, they're responsible for product delivery end-to-end, from getting data or fine-tuning models, making A/B tests, optimizing these models, and then rolling out these models to production and keep the life cycle of these models in production. So it's testing, performance optimization, all could be done by one engineer who's responsible for one experiment, who rolling out new update of some model. So, and it's very important to have these kind of people who can be very independent and do a lot of things very fast and with high quality. And with product people, I'm looking for visionary people who can do things, basically who can work with their bare hands without expecting someone to do some analytics, write some code for them, do some designs, who can also be very independent, who can do some sketches and mock-ups in Figma, write some code with help of ChatGPT, build some prototype, make some quick A/B test without attracting developers for that, do some analytics and research without have separate analytic engineer in the team. So basically, it's I want two people move fast, move independently, and have this high density without having a lot of bureaucracy.
It's really good. Yeah. That rolling up your sleeves and getting involved in all areas and not waiting to be handheld is so crucial for these small, like you said, small talent dense teams. You've got to move fast and have the ability. How do you think your leadership styles evolved from your time leading all of AI at Replika to founding Xhuman?
So it's very interesting transformation, especially for me as for technical founder, for engineer in the past. For the person who was coding for 15 years, for the person who really loved to do some deep work, who need to do a deep work. If you want to be a good engineer, you need to do some deep work without spreading yourself on thousands of multiple things. And it's completely opposite with being founder. when you're founder, you're wearing all these hats at once. You're CTO, you're CEO, you're head of marketing, like head of HR, you're chatting with investors, you're selling to clients, you're selling to new team members, you do all of that. And there is almost no time for some deep work. But you need to be kind of generalist. And it's kind of building multiple T-shape skills. When you engineer, it's important to build this T-shape when you have some deep expertise, but at the same in some area, but at the same time you have like broad understanding on what's going on in your industry and in cross industries. And here you need to have like some T-shapes in multiple industries. You need to understand how to sell your product. What is it deeply resonate with your clients? You need to understand how to chat with investors. What is like how to explain the complexity of technology that you are building in simple words that investors and clients can understand. You need to understand what's going on technical side, how you can optimize your infrastructure, what engineers you need to hire to help you with that, how to build like the whole architecture of your platform. So there is for sure you need to have some deep expertise in your area, but at the same time, there is so many things that you need to cover. And it's completely different with being an engineer.
Yeah, that's good insight for anyone making that transition. Be aware of all of that for sure. Let's talk about the open source movement and how do you think the rise of open source models has influenced X-Human's development strategy? And do you think this trend or this direction will change the competitive landscape for companies focused on emotional AI?
I really love open source, and most of AI startups should love open source because with open source, you don't need to train foundation models from scratch. For example, the cost of training Llama 3 was like hundreds of millions of dollars. The cost of training state-of-the-art image generation models, video generation models, it's also like tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. There is almost no startups that has this budget, but with the help of these foundation models, we can use them and then fine-tune these models on our data. Actually, the main mod of the current startups is their user data, that it's hard to get synthetically or openly. For example, if you're going to train the competitor of ChatGPT, or like if you're going to train the competitor of Midjourney, there is a lot of open data. Like you can get internet of images, internet of videos, internet of text, but there is almost no conversations, like engaging high quality conversations on the internet to build empathetic AI. In this way, we utilize this data collection loop that we got with our consumer product, with hundreds of millions of messages that we got each month, and we fine-tune these open source models on top of our data. And if there is new release of like Llama 4 or like Stable Diffusion 5 or stuff like that, we can easily switch these backbone models and then fine-tune these models on top of our data. And then like the results became better. We start to get like better output and better labels from users, continue to fine-tune these models on top of this data, and then do that again and again and again. So with open source, we can build our technology in-house, but without spending millions and like hundreds of millions of dollars to train these foundation models. And it's very important for products that build multimodal applications. In our case, we currently got around 30 different models. Some models serving text, like some LLMs models and like text-based classifiers, some image generation models and image classifiers, some speech-to-text, text-to-speech models, video generation models, and so on. So to provide all of that, and also we have like very strict restrictions on latency, because we provide real-time interactions with users, between our characters and our users. So we need to generate all these responses, images, audio messages really quickly. And without having all these open source models, we couldn't do that. But with having open source and building data loops using our products, we can build significantly better than initial open source model, or than like ChatGPT, for example, for our case. So basically, we're building kind of vertical AI case with a focus on empathy. Like open source is great, that allow us to move quickly and to improve quality for each of these modalities. Because there was like Llama 2, then it was release of Llama 3. We increased the quality of language part, of text-based part. Also, after that, it was like Stable Diffusion, and then it was release of Flux. So now we can increase quality of image generations. The same with audios and with video and so on.
Yeah, it sounds like that's the best way of trying to stay ahead when it's such a rapidly advancing field. And then you've got people like the open AIs and stuff like that are moving pretty quickly. But if you're utilizing open source and just staying on top of it all, it seems like that's the way of staying ahead and constantly improving and keeping the quality high and the engagement high, and just retraining, retuning, and making your models even better.
Exactly.
Let's look at what's ahead for X-Human, and look into the future for future expansions, future products, things like that. Are there any upcoming developments or features that the listeners should watch out for or keep a lookout for?
So first of all, we continue to improve and develop our platform with focus to increase quality of interactions with our characters, because it's core. We want to provide you as engaging, as interactive experience, as immersive experience interacting with these characters as possible. So we continue to improve the quality of conversations, of AI brains, of visual part, and the experience in general. Also, we're expanding on different markets and different languages. So currently we support around 10 different languages. We're going to expand to more than 50 different languages to make these characters available globally. And we're going to expand on other markets on B2B side, because currently we have clients in datings, gamings, chatbots, but the future potential markets includes customer service, education, mental health, and so on. And in general, we're building the biggest emotional layer platform. If you want to think about, like, our main idea is to build the future where people interact with AI characters on daily basis. And these characters can help you in any aspect of your life in a very engaging, immersive, emotional way.
I see. Well, when we spoke for our first conversation offline, I obviously very close to the robotics scene, hard tech scene. I just figured out or thought about having something like this inbuilt in. Obviously, humanoids are huge right now. They're a big buzz, and everyone's thinking about their applications, and then, we want these in our homes and stuff like that. But the conversational and empathy element, I don't think people are really considering. It's more the function and how it does the task, and having a general purpose robot that can interpret whatever you say and go and do it. But there will be that companion element to it as well, and conversational element, and having a system like this embedded within a robot, even if it's not a humanoid, and you think about your Alexa or Siri or whatever, having that element for people where it can think more proactively or know you and your day and your schedule and what you've been through recently and what you've got coming up and all of that stuff, it can be very useful and very powerful.
Yeah, embodiment of these characters, it's one of the way of development, of this future development. You can imagine, like Elon Musk recently showed these Tesla bots and promised that like anyone can buy it in like under 25K, like $30,000. We can imagine that if they would integrate our AI brains, that you can have like a real AI friend, like a robot that is your friend. But on other side, you can also think about the next level of interaction through AR experience, because AR revolution is coming. Apple is working on AR glasses. Facebook is working on them. Snap with spectacles and so on. And I believe that in 5 years, we will get rid of this small black box called smartphones. We'll wear AR glasses that will looks and weights like regular sunglasses. And we would see these characters in our room. Like imagine you're a kid, and now you can play, dance, and learn from AI Pikachu, who can you see in your room, and with whom you can play also with your friends. Or like imagine you're a teenage girl, you're a fan of some K-pop group, and now you can see all members of this K-pop group in your room. You can dance, play, think with them. Or like imagine you're a student of college and you're studying physics, and now you can discuss and debate physics with Albert Einstein. So the future of digital humans and empathetic AI is enormous. So it would be with technology development, it would be more. We will see that more and more in our regular life.
Yeah. Didn't even think about those use cases. That's wild. What's coming? It's crazy. Okay, well, look, finally, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs in the AI field? And what do you wish someone had told you before you embarked on this journey of entrepreneurship?
I think the main advice could be be user-centric, not model-centric. Because a lot of AI founders, especially with engineering background, thought that, I'm going to like fine-tune this model or build this foundation model. It's gonna be the best model in the class. What do actually users need this best model? Think about product. Think about the final use case for regular user who don't understand what is AI, who don't understand how does it work, but who want to use some like something that you built, like some great product that you built with all these amazing models. And maybe you don't need to like focus on the model quality, but in some case you can use not the best model, but you're gonna be like the fastest model, or like the most appropriate model for this use case. So be user-centric, not model-centric.
Great advice. Well, look, thank you so much for being on the show, Artem. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think it's going to be very eye-opening for a lot of people, very informative for pretty much everyone, and I've really enjoyed it. Where can our listeners find out more about you and X-Human and follow along for what's to come?
So you can reach me out on LinkedIn. Happy to chat with you. Just search for Artem Rodichev. You can try to chat with our chatbots using our consumer product. They call Botify AI. And if you want to integrate our AI characters on your own platform, you can visit X-Human. Just Google X-Human to find out about our products.
Very cool. We'll link all of this in the show notes for everyone for ease. But yeah, thank you again. Looking forward to seeing everything you guys do, and good luck for the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. It was a pleasure.